This could be the topic that
breaks the internet. This is the one, right?
Yeah, people will start searching for the end of the internet. Just going, oh my, or they're going to be thinking that this topic is the end of the internet.
This is it. This is actually the end. This is where it all ends.
Madge, I got to the end of the internet.
I found the end, and it's not what you think.
It's really scary.
That's right.
Really
There's a little trailer in Napa.
Oh, that's right. There's this guy who shaves his head every couple days, and
holy crap!
Yeah, he's the unit tennis player.
That's it.
Anyway, listen. All right, guys. So, thanks for joining us today on Go Ball Hunting, the podcast. We're also over at .com where you can get a complimentary 10-minute coaching call. The three of us. It's private. You, me, and Jeff. You got to bring that one thing in your game right now that is just gnawing at you. You know, it's like that little dog, that little terrier that gets on your pant cuff. You can't get it off. You're shaking it off. And you're just wishing that the owner would finally come over, say, you mind the dog? Could you get it off me, please? Yeah. Well, it's kind of the same thing in tennis. We have something sometimes we just can't figure out. So if that's you, we're here. Jeff and I are here to help you solve that. Well, maybe not totally solve it, but at least stick you on the path. So the way to get on that private 10-minute coaching call, go over to goldballhunting.com. Drop it in a first name and an email address, and then click the button, whatever it says there to do. And you'll get immediate access to our online scheduler. And right there you can cherry pick a date or time that works best for you. So, Jeff, I was reading this website today that had a bunch of quotes from our boy Tim Ferriss. And he said something, and he said something, or I read something where it got me thinking about players who really want to make a significant change in their game. At least they think they want to make a change to their game. And it could be just one little area. It could be, what happened here? Something just happened here. ClickFunnels. All right, man, fine. I hope we're still recording here. Anyway, so come back here, Jeff. There you go. So, all right, sorry about that. So, but players want to make a change. Could be small, something big, and yet what they want, what they really want, is
here it comes.
Is an easy path, a comfortable path to make the change. And let's say it's not even that they're saying, well, I understand, guys, that quick fix is not going to do it. That's not realistic. But could you give me the easy path so that I could eventually hit this slice backhand on a dime over there? I think a lot of players are just, they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. And getting out of the comfort zone means some real dirty work that's just, and we talk about this a lot, but I kind of want to get into, I want you to kind of get into how do you and I help players embrace getting uncomfortable. And letting them know that, look, this is cool that you want to make a change. We're 100% behind you. But we don't have the little magic carpet ride over to that result you want. If someone does, bring them over. We'd like to see it.
Love to see a jar of that magic tennis fairy dust. I've never seen one. I've heard of it.
Right.
Heard tell the legend of it, but I've yet to actually spot one out in the wild.
That's right.
I think, for me, I'll spend a little bit.
Did you ever, when you were developing your game, did you ever hope that Shermy or someone might have, I'm not saying the magic bullet, the quick fix, but might have a relatively easy path?
I don't know that I ever had a conscious thought that, like, I'm waiting for the magic words or this, but I think as a player, and maybe other people experience this, we're hoping our hope of hopes, our dream of dreams, if this new thing won't take as long as the last thing to
Right.
get there, right?
Right.
And truth be told, some things, there are shorter paths depending on what the issue is and what it is you're working on. But the path is still fraught with danger and skin knees and bruises, emotional and physical, and it's still there. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. Even if it's short, there's still, you got to get through. You got to get through it. And that's the messy part, right? But so I don't know that I ever thought like. I think the challenge was to finally get to the point where I knew it was just going to take the work, as opposed to thinking, "Oh, I got this."
Right.
No, you don't. So that part of it, I think, that just happened through the evolution of my game and maturing as a player. And then once accepting that, I knew I can do the work here, and I know I'm going to be a better player 3 months from now, 6 months from now. This is going to be a whole different animal, and do that. So,
well, let me rudely interrupt you right here, and say that once you embrace, as you just described that you did, once you embrace it, look, there's not going to be a smooth path. I'm going to get bloodied a little bit along the way. Once you accept it, and once you decide I can go ahead and do that, the thing that you got to realize is that you've just right now put yourself into this tiny minority of players. And so you could think, wow, this is a real positive thing, that to make significant changes in a game really does take hard work, and to get this big result, no one else is going to do this.
Right.
I'm in a small group of guys or gals who really want to put in the work, and I'll be able to separate myself, if nothing else, by knowing that most of them are not going to want to do the work. Most of them are just going to dabble and tinker and kind of go, okay, quick fix. Okay, well, give me an easy path. Fine, let's work on it for a couple months. That's fine.
Right.
But I don't want to get frustrated. I really don't. I really want a clear path. And so, anyway.
Well, I think part of the process in teaching, though, too, is to ask the right questions, to probe into your student, and to figure out what do they actually want, because that can be confusing sometimes. It can be a false or kind of a skewed understanding of what they think they're aiming at and how to get there. So they might actually be choosing a specific item that actually isn't the pathway to get where they want to get to. That actually I may have to corral them back in and go, wait a second here, I get this, I get it, but I'm going to show you this over here, because we're going to actually be able to streamline this a little better if we actually focus on this aspect first. So I think it's our responsibility as teachers to be able to listen to your student and actually read between the lines a little bit and ask the right questions to get the feedback I need to know how to take, not only what they want, because sometimes that's not, like you said, what they want may not be what they want. They think they know what they want, but it takes a little bit to flesh that out a little bit. And then, why do you want it? I like to ask that. I like to find out, so, okay, you want this thing, so why do you want it? And that takes a little pressing,
we asked that question today. We asked that question today in one of our private webinars.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I say, well, why do you want this shot? Why do you want to make this change? And it was interesting to hear the silence, which was a hesitation of not really knowing what the value. I think the way we asked the question, well, what's going to be the added value, for you spending time doing this thing, or trying to get this new part to your game? And there really was. It was kind of like, I think what he wanted to say was kind of like, well, doesn't everybody have to have that? I mean, isn't that, so I've lost my train of thought, because I had a question I wanted to follow up on. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. As you mentioned something about that, a good teaching pro. First of all, if you are going to embark on something that's going to require some effort and not an easy path, then that's good on you. Congratulations. I'm happy to hear. Or I'm happy to think that that's what you're doing. But you got to have help. And most people who try to DIY it, do it yourself, never
Right.
really get there because they just don't have the path. I mean, it could be kind of a nasty,
Right.
tough path. But what you're talking about, Jeff, is let's find out what the result is that you want. Let's find out why you want to do it, and actually see if the reason you want to do that
Right.
is worth the effort. But what got me thinking is that you said, well, let's start with this part of it first. And what I thought you were going to say is because if we can get this chunk of it done first, then it knocks down a lot of other things that we don't
Right.
have to go through. And I think too often what happens is players see, well, there's 7 different pieces here that I have to work on, and they're not sure which is the one that if they get this
Right.
one, 5 of the other 6 just
Right.
automatically get knocked down.
Right, and that was my intent behind that. That statement is are you sure you should be attacking what you think you want to improve
Right.
as the method and the most efficient and most reward
Yeah.
to getting to where you think you're headed, right?
Right.
And so that's where you need somebody who knows and can look at it and really flesh it out for you. I mean, I find a lot of players, league players, 3-5s, 4-0s that I work with. Something's wrong with my forehand and blah, blah, blah. And really, an inconsistent stroke isn't necessarily flawed by something technical. It can be flawed because when they play the game, they have no plan. And so the clogging of the brain and trying to figure out what to do every shot. So now everything's just becoming a reaction to the ball. And so because there's no plan, they're never actually preparing, setting up, and hitting. So what I do is I like to first, let's just tweak that a little bit. Sally, can you just stand up a little straighter? I'll attack things that I know will make them just athletically function better without ever touching the stroke.
Right.
I'll get in there and see, is this going to improve it enough to then let me get to the next thing that I need to show them, right?
Right. Sure.
And then I'll work on a couple of simple patterns. If it's doubles, I'll make them stand at the baseline in the cross court. We'll do some cross court work, and I'll have them hit certain balls, live ball rallying, but you got to do this, and then you're going to bring the ball over here because this. And then what happens when I watch them play, they come back then and say, oh my gosh, it was so much more fun because I could see I moved her over there. And so now they're not even talking about their forehand anymore.
Right.
Now they're interested in actually, okay, what else is there, Jeff? What other plays can I employ? So I may work with that person then for the next month, once, twice a month, or a couple months, and we will go over, I don't know, at the most 2 or 3 patterns of play. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll do that over and over and over again. And then they start to feel confident with it. Now they're actually moving the ball around the court without having to think about it. And they're actually constructing the point, and they're seeing the result of the shot they hit and what to do then next. And so for me, that alone can help clean up a stroke because they're actually organized.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, is that if you don't have a plan, then the forehand can go off or whatever stroke it is.
Whatever stroke.
Because all you're doing is just running around helter-skelter, really not knowing where to play this next shot based on a plan or based on a pattern that you've worked on, to where, well, I know if I'm going to hit this ball up the middle, I've got to get this distance away from the path of the ball. Now my forehand works. But if there's no plan where the ball's coming in, you're going, gosh, do I go up the line? Do I go up the middle? Do I go cross court? And whatever one you choose, the spacing's probably not right. Now you're jammed up and you're thinking, hey, Jeff, my forehand doesn't work, man. I need some help. So that's a really good point. Nice going.
Yeah.
Nice going, man. You're always kind of good with this stuff.
I don't know. I just, you know,
I
you
know,
put me on the spot. I got to, you know,
Hey.
yeah, let it go, man. See, that's swing freedom right there. Swing freedom. Let it go.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think we've worked this one over. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If again, like we talked about in the beginning, if you want to get in a free coaching call with me and Jeff, you can do that. 3 of us. It's private, but it's only 10 minutes, man. So you got to bring that one thing in your game right now that is just, oh God. Maybe it's waking you up middle of the night, 2:32. You know how it goes, right? It's 2:21 in the morning. You wake up and you go, God, how am I finally going to get that shot? I've been working on that thing forever. Well, I'll tell you what to do right now. This will help you do 2 things. Number 1, it'll help you with the shot, and then you'll sleep all night long. So, gold ball hunting. goldballhunting.com. Put in the first name and email address, and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler, where you can cherry pick a date and time. I had total swing freedom on that, didn't I?
You did, totally.
Online
That was great.
calendar scheduler, and you can cherry pick a date or time that works best for you, not for us. We're at your disposal. Come on,
Right.
man.
Come on.
It's free. Did I mention that?
I think you did.
Did I mention it was private?
I think so.
Okay. If you're already on our email list, come on. Bottom of the email that we send out, all the emails has got a link that'll take you to that online scheduler. So, Jeff, with that, it's your spotlight there, man.
Woohoo! Okay, so we'd like you to like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think.
Down below.
Down below.
Down below.
Below.
All right, guys. Again, thanks for hanging out with us today. I know we got a little goofy here, but that's the way we roll. So sorry. Anyway, get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. And Jeff, we're going to try to do this again tomorrow.
I cannot wait.